It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. My name is Shay Brown. I'm your host, and I'm super excited that you're here. And today, I want to talk to you about something that might make some of you feel a little bit uneasy. It's selling. And I understand that for many of you, the word sales can be a bit, let's say intimidating. But I'm here to tell you that selling is the oxygen for every great business in history. Just like we need air to breathe and, of course, survive, okay? A business needs sales to thrive and to succeed. And if you're someone who's a bit hesitant about selling, I don't want you to worry. Don't panic. Don't tune out. Matter of fact, I want you to lean in because you're not alone. I was the original person. I was the person. I was just like you. Did you know that many, I would say most of the CEOs that lead big companies, and almost every entrepreneur that I met that's leading a small business, they didn't come from a sales background. They didn't come from sales training. They were just like me and maybe just like you. They had to go out there and learn the most important skill, which is sales. And then once they learned a little bit about selling, they had to understand the 5 pillars of sales that could make every business profitable and successful. And we're going to dive into that on this episode. We're going to get into that. I can't wait to share that with you. It'll give you the understanding of the 5 pillars. And then as we move on these episodes, we'll get into many, many, many more parts of it. So first, let me just welcome you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the DMs that are out there. And thanks for those that leave comments below on the many platforms that we're on. We appreciate it. So take this podcast, if you're listening to it, and share it. If you're watching it on YouTube, share it. If you're watching us live right now, make a comment below, or better yet, send me a DM over at I am Shay Brown. Let's connect. You can see me, but I can't see you, but you can see me. So let's first start where I love to start, which is what is the objective of the CEO Sales Huddle? And the objective is simple. It's to assess daily sales progress, address any roadblocks, no matter what the roadblock may be, but also make sure we understand the 5 sales pillars to earn $100,000 plus a month so we can impact lives and we can have unlimited freedom. And doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that feel good that you make more money and now you have more choices? You have the freedom to do the things you want to do. Now, for those that are new, welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. This might be your very, very first episode. Let me give you a quick overview. The what is where CEOs gather to understand how to sell more faster within their organization. And for some of the CEOs, they're the number one salesperson. That might be you right now. Are you the only salesperson? You're the Mr. or Miss Everything of your company. That's cool. And I know others of you, your vice presidents or your managers or your supervisors or trainees of folks that are in sales. So welcome, or others of you are just business owners. Thanks for joining and tuning in. Why? Why do we have this? Why is it important for you to show up every day for 15 minutes? We only ask for 15 minutes. It's for 3 things. Now, jot these 3 things down. They're near and dear. It's our mantra. It's for sales, which is the oxygen to the business, by the way. Number 2 is for accountability. Just the fact that you show up. Sales is in the conversation. And number three, it's about the consistency. It's nothing like having up and downs and ups and roller coasters and so forth and hills and valleys and finding yourself in a situation where you just are not consistent. Okay. So how long is it? 15 minutes. Sometimes we have what I call CEO overtime, and that's when we go into overtime. But for the most part, within that 15 minutes, you can get exactly what you need, and we're out of here. Who? Coaches, entrepreneurs, small business owners. And last, I'll say our number one outcome is for you to generate $100,000 plus a month of consistent, predictable, reliable income. If that's you, I'm in, Shay. I want the 100K roadmap. Shay, I'm already in. You don't have to say anything else. Do me a favor. Shoot me a DM. Go over at I am Shay Brown. You can find it on Instagram if you want, or LinkedIn, or wherever your place is. Send me a DM right now. Just put 100K roadmap. Just put that in there. Just put that in there right now, because that's what this goal is. And there is no barrier to your success other than your commitment to show up for yourself and for your business. So we have a couple segments that we do before we get into the learn, earn, and return segment, which is when I'm going to go into the 5 pillars. Okay, so you hang in there for a moment, and we're going to do what we call the CEO dashboard segment. Now, the CEO dashboard segment, this is a segment where we do a metrics review. Now, this is very, very important. This is very, very important. Hopefully I get a visual of this soon. I like that. CEO sales dashboard metric review. Now, in this metric review, here's what I want you to do. This is when we go back and we look at it. Now, you might not have the CEO sales dashboard. If you haven't registered over CEO Sales Huddle, then I know we haven't sent it to you, okay? We're making a few updates to it. So you go over to www.ceossaleshuddle, maybe listen to the podcast. Once you opt in, follow the instructions. We're going to get you our CEO Sales Dashboard, which is something we're going to look at every single morning. But let me give you the components of it. And you just take a moment. And why is this so important? Because I believe the number one indicator for every CEO on their dashboard. If you had a dashboard in front of you, I have my iPad's way over here. But if I had my iPad open right now, which I guess I could, and I open up the dashboard, I'm looking at sales and some indicators on there. Now, what's number 2 indicator on your CEO sales dashboard? Doesn't matter. In fact, who cares? Because without sales, which is the oxygen in every business in history, you need sales like air to breathe and survive. You need sales, well, to succeed and to thrive. So it doesn't matter. So there's first leads. So for your leads, I just want you to think about how many new leads came into your database that you can contact and follow up with, or how many folks became engaged with your company. And you can look at just yesterday. Now, we do a review once a week. We do a review once a quarter, and once a month. But let's look at yesterday. And then look at yesterday and think about how many appointments were set yesterday. That means something that you're going to run in the future. Or how many appointments did you run that day? There's another indicator for you and your team, which is offers. Did you make an offer? I was talking to someone yesterday. Thank you so much, Mike. I mentioned their name. They joined the CEO Sales Huddle. And they said, Shay, I didn't make any money yesterday, so why should I show up? Right. And this is someone I know. OK, it's not a client, just someone I know. And we were chatting and I said, well, did you make an offer? She says, well, no. Did you make an offer online? Did anyone watch anything, your webinar, anything online? They said, no. I said, well, it's OK not to make money in one day. You can't not make money for 30 days. But they didn't even make an offer. And they weren't even tracking that. So I'm going to encourage you to track that. We're going to get you this cool tracker that has a lot of what we call sales indicators inside there. How many deals closed yesterday? Again, this is just a quick review. This is your CEO dashboard. You're looking at that. You got this in less than 60 seconds. Taking us a little longer right now because we haven't sent it to you and I don't have it pulled up right now. And then repeat clients. How many existing clients went in and made another purchase? Okay, because we know that existing clients is one way to keep the revenue, and existing clients will help the business, be afloat. But we know that strangers, put this in your notes, strangers will make your business very, very wealthy. So while your existing list and existing people and clients and folks you know with, that's cool. You're going to live a really good life just hanging out with them and serving them and helping them and getting more business from them. Yes, you'll help them with problems and services. But I believe the true growth in your business, the true skyrocket, where the difference makes is getting in front of strangers who don't know that you exist today and sharing with them how you solve a problem. That's why I always have repeat clients. I think this is very important to have that on the indicator. Okay, now that we finish the CEO sales dashboard segment, hopefully I'm getting better at these, we move to the next segment, which is celebrate wins. And I always like to step back. It's what all superstars do. They reflect. And they reflect first on any of their successes. We want to acknowledge something that's amazing, something that we can pat ourselves on the back and say, great job. Maybe yesterday for you, the announcement is you showed up for the CEO Sales Huddle. Check that box. You watched the CEO Sales Huddle replay. Check that box. Okay. You went over to the CEO Sales Huddle group and you got to CEO Mastery. Check that box. Maybe you made a comment below and said, Shay, I'm in. You did a check-in. Shay, I'm in. Or you sent me a DM. I love the DMs. Thank you so much. Some of y'all told me to slow down. So I'm talking a little slower, but hopefully you can hear my excitement. Hopefully you hear what my heart is. I hope you can hear that I'm pumped because I know that you as a CEO, not only going to change life, you're going to change your life, but together we're going to make a difference. So I know this is going to help you. Some of you were looking for a place like this and you're in it now. So what was a big win? What are you most proud of? What was your biggest accomplishment yesterday? Just write it in your notes. And some of you that DM me, I've got a few yesterday. You can send me a DM and say, Shay, what I'm most proud of yesterday is blank. Send me a DM right now. You can post it in the group. I know some of you don't want all your stuff to be public. I understand that. I respect that. It's all private. I'm not going to share it for those that DM me. No, I'm not going to share it. And then let's move to the next segment, which is overcoming roadblocks. And I want you, as you step back, to think about what was your biggest roadblock yesterday. Was it a family member? And we all have things that we have to deal with. Yesterday, we had a situation with GoDaddy where a couple of GoDaddy appeared to was hacked yesterday and slowed things down for, I don't know, maybe 60 minutes. But 60 minutes seems like 60 years when there's a gap in the hosting, right? And they worked to get it done as fast as possible. They were on top of it. They sent us an alert and said they believe something has happened, and they had to do a little maintenance upgrade. And none of our sites were attacked, thank God. That's a blessing. But that's a roadmap. So we get the call. Client wants to know if we're impacted. We say no. We check their account. Their account's impacted, and their funnel was impacted. And so my point to you is that's not a roadblock in a negative sense, but I took my eye off not selling, but looking for people who have a problem, or communicating with people who have a problem, or planning to find people who had a problem. I had to stop for that moment. And it was just a roadblock. The roadblock's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing or bad thing. It just is what it is. What's going to prevent you really from focusing on the one area that makes your business grow, which is sales today? And I just want you to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Maybe sometimes, and I know some of my colleagues and trainers and the gurus and the experts and the folks in the field out there always say, do the thing that is a roadblock. Do the thing you don't want to do. Brian Tracy, I believe it was, said 1,000 years ago, it seemed like, eat that frog in the morning. And I'm not even sure if that was his. I don't think it was his, by the way. Half that stuff. But anyway, eat the frog in the morning. But what's preventing you? Now, how you handle it is a different conversation. But as a CEO, we're going to acknowledge that. I took a call yesterday from a good friend I've known over 30 years, and they're looking for an administrative assistant. And I asked the question, I said, hey, what's preventing your business from moving forward today? And he called me to talk about administrative assistant. He said, well, administrative assistant, yeah, I'm trying to find one. I'm looking online. Do you know anyone? Can you recommend anyone? And so forth. And when I said what's preventing you, he had this irritation, like, I just told you one thing. I got a list of things. I said, but as a CEO, I like what the one thing says. And sometimes we can adopt best principles, by the way. It don't have to be our principles. But the book, The One Thing, in The One Thing, it says, what's the one thing that you can do today that if you do it, it will move your life and or business forward? And I said, you're calling me and that's pretty cool. I'm just curious, what are some other things that you're going to be doing today to really help you find an assistant? Put an ad up, post it to several different job sites, set up an interview schedule, and block your schedule so you could do it. Now, I wasn't coaching. I'm not a coach. That's not what I do. But because I was in this conversation this morning, and something that my mentor taught me 1,000 years ago was the number one principle you can have is to stay in the conversation around sales and success. It was top of mind to me. So I'm thinking roadblocks. And he's sharing his, and it created a breakthrough. He sent me a text that evening and said, hey, Shay, thanks a lot. I don't have an assistant, but I feel better about the approach that we're taking now. And I didn't give him the strategy. That's not what happened. So anyway, that could happen for you. There could be a shift by you being here. So I want you to take that seriously. That's not a beat me up, like I got this obstacle and I don't know what's in front of me, Shay. No, you got a list of things. You're a CEO. The list of things you got to do has got to be long. If it's not, your goals aren't big enough. But it's like, what's the one roadblock that's preventing you today? What prevented you yesterday? And what's the one thing you're going to do? So it's 3 questions. What was your biggest roadblock? What's preventing you from doing it today? And then what's the one thing you can do to make it happen? I'll move it forward. I think I'll get some images and we'll get these up, make this easier in the future. This is good. Okay. Anyway, now we're on a segment. Geez, where's the time going? Now we're on a segment called Learn, Earn, and Return. Something I got from my mentor, Dr. George C. Frazier, many years ago. When I heard it, he said, our role now is to learn. And then once we learn, we earn. And I like the learn part. So we're going to go into learning. And for a lot of CEOs, this is already top of mind to you, but it's going to be fresh. You're going to look at it from a different perspective. Every day that you're on this planet, what you knew yesterday, you have a different perspective for today. And we're going to just share this learn, earn segments when I do a few minutes and just go deep in one area. And the one area that I want to go deep on in the time we have today is I really want to go deep into one area, which is, well, Let me say it again. The 5 sales pillars. The 5 sales pillars. You see, it's my belief as you're watching right now and as you're listening right now and as you're tuned in this present moment, I believe this selling is the oxygen for every successful business in history. We started off that way. We meant that. And if you have a resistance to selling or you're a bit uneasy about selling, I want you to get over it. Because I'm telling you that selling is the oxygen. And without selling, there'll always be more money going out than coming in. So just like we need air to breathe and survive, a business needs sales to thrive and succeed. And if you're someone who's a bit hesitant about selling, don't worry. You're not alone. Most CEOs did not come from sales background, but they learned something that's important. What they learned is the 5 pillars of sales that you need to make your business profitable and successful. I'm going to give it to you the next minute or so. We'll do a deep dive in future episodes, but I want you to have this right now. Number 1 is what we call sales planning. And I just want you to imagine you're planning a trip to your favorite amusement park. What do you do first? You make a plan. You decide which rides to go on, what food to eat, and how to make the most of your day. In the same way, sales planning helps you decide how to sell your products or services. It's like having a game plan for your business. And I just want to ask you a question right now. If you and I were face to face right now and we were having eye to eye contact and you were just looking not at your sales plan for the year, and I'm not saying that, but just not how much revenue you have to generate in your business. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying you have to know your numbers. But I'm just sharing what is our evergreen revenue model, is what we call it, and what is our sales plan to get us to $100,000 per month of consistent, predictable, reliable income. And there might be multiple ways. I get that. But what's the sales plan? And if you have one, congratulations. If you don't worry. This is not a beat me up session. We'll get into some other cool stuff I can't wait to share with you, by the way. The second pillar that I've learned in doing this is sales cycles. And I want you to think of a sales cycle as a beautiful dance. Just like in a dance, each step is important. In sales, a sales cycle is the journey your customer takes from when they first hear about your product or service to when they decide to buy. For example, if you run a bakery, the sales cycle might start with a customer sees a delicious cake in your shop window and ends with the purchase of a juicy slice that they're going to enjoy. Now, of course, if you're really good and your product's really good, they're probably going to have a little more than that one slice. But that's, think about it. I mean, sales cycle, this is the rhythm of your revenue that's coming in. And it's really important as a CEO, even if you're the salesperson, to kind of understand the sales cycles, the rhythm where we are, and then what we can do to move the needle. Okay, and this is all about this. This is the overview. I want you to have the 5 sales pillars. You might not even know what they were. Maybe it's the first time you've been introduced to them if you're meeting me. But if you've met me, you've been around any amount of time, this is a good refresher for you. Okay, and I'm so glad you're here. So thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Okay, next is sales positioning. So sales pillar number 3 is sales positioning. Picture this. You're at a big sports game and your favorite player is about to make a goal. They're in a perfect spot to score. That's what sales positioning is all about. Putting your product or service in the best position to win. It means showing your customers why what you offer is the best. Doesn't that feel good all by itself? I mean, doesn't that feel good right then and there for you to be able to say, oh, this is how to do it. This is what makes it different. This is what makes it different. This is what brings it up. Okay, I got to remember how to do this, and we'll figure it out in a minute. Here we go. I couldn't figure out how to make sure you can see me. That's kind of crazy, by the way. But one of the things I say about sales positioning is your language. And one of the things I was taught by my mentor, Dr. Donald J. Moyne, who had a PhD in sales, by the way, the first person to really do neurolinguistic sales or teach sales scripting, by the way, for a PhD. One of the things he shared a $25,000 program about 15 years ago. I think it was 2005. And he said this, just these words just changed my life. And this is what sales position. This is a Shay Brown remix version, of course. I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation. So he said, your words can make you rich. Shay Brown, part of the Puff Daddy generation. Okay, I got my AARP card. I got a remix version on everything. And this is a new age. This isn't when he was doing it 30, 40 years ago. This is what we need today in the world we live in today. This is the new age of selling. That's what I teach, the new age of selling for this generation I'm a part of, which is it's really about sales positioning. You don't have to try to convince or persuade or convince or try to be, you got to do this or say these fancy words. No. Put this in your notes. Scripts are for actors, and you, my CEO, you're not an actor. No, you're not. But you understand, and you will understand as we go through this. I'm in overtime right now. Sales positioning. So if you believe that you're not an actor, you know the scripts are for actors, and you're going to speak from the heart. You're going to be yourself, and you're ready to understand this. Do me a favor, in the comments below, just drop just in the comments below, like right below. And now if you're listening to the podcast, I know you can't do this, okay? So I don't want to leave you out. But just put these words. Scripts are for actors, and I'm not an actor. No, you're not. You're an amazing CEO. Only amazing CEOs show up for the CEO Sales Huddle, right? Amazing CEOs. That's you. You're an amazing CEO. That's got to feel good. You're doing good in the world. Okay, I got to go. We're in CEO overtime. For those folks, I know I promised 15 minutes. I know you might have to go. Hey, go back and listen to the replay, okay? I just got a little bit of overtime. I'm coming down the home stretch. I only had 5 pillars, but, this is only our 3rd episode. We'll get better and not try to do too much too fast. I promise you. I'm working on it. We'll get better. Okay. How do I get back over here? Okay, Okay, here we go. So, pillar number 4 is my favorite. We call it the CEO Sales Dashboard. We've put together something for you that's my gift to you because I want you to have it. But the CEO, pillar number 4 is sales indicator. So just like a doctor uses a thermometer to check if you have a fever, sales indicators help you check the health of your business. They're like clues that tell you how well your business is doing. For example, if you have an online store, hello, I know I'm talking to somebody, I can't be by myself, and a high number of website visitors who become customers, well, that's a good sales indicator. I know some of you are like, yep, Shay, I'm picking up what you're putting down over there. I'm smelling what you're cooking in the kitchen. And you think about your sales indicators as you go back and you look at it and you say, you know what, Shay, that's important. And my mother dear, by the way, Dr. Camby B. Jeffers, someone who worked for 37 years in the Department of Commerce in Washington, D.C., down on 14th and Pennsylvania Avenue. Same building, 37 years, different floors, different spaces and all that. Retired at 55. Now I'm 55. I'm not retired, but my mom retired at 55. Never worked a day after 55. Today, we're a caregiver. She has Parkinson's. She moved into the place that she wanted to be in, which is super amazing, by the way. And the reason I tell you that story is that she's doing fine, by the way. I want y'all to know that Mother Dear is doing fine. Is that when we take her to the doctor, which we're able to do. Sometimes I'm taking her, sometimes my brother or my sister, but I get to take her often. Matter of fact, we're going next week. The first thing they do is they check her vitals. That's a sales indicator. I'm sitting there watching the doctor. Now, I couldn't wait to start CEO Sales Huddle, but last week we were there. I'm watching the doctor, and the first thing the doctor do, not the doctor, by the way, but the nurse. The doctor, I don't know what the doctor does. The nurse says, stand on the scale. Then the nurse wants to check her blood pressure, right? Then they're going to take her temperature. They're checking the vitals. Wouldn't it make sense every morning for you to look at your sales CEO dashboard? And if you don't have one, you can go to ceosaleshuddle.com. ceosaleshuddle.com, okay? Make sure you register because we're going to release it. There's no cost, no credit card, no check, no strings attached. It's our gift to you. Every morning you can pull it up. And during this session for 3-4 minutes, you look at your CEO dashboard that has some of the key indicators that your assistant or you can plug in less than 3 minutes. Oh, it's going to be incredible. I can't wait. There's no cost. There's no tricks. I don't have anything to sell you. It's just where my heart is. Hope you can feel my heart. And the last one of the 5 sales pillars. There's only 5. Like, there's only 5. You only have to know 5 sales pillars for your business to be freaking successful. Understand that sales is the oxygen to every great business in history. And here they are. Sales team. So think of your sales team as your cheerleaders. They're the people who help you sell your products or services. Now, some of you heard me teach the 7-figure sales team. So you know there's 5 components. But these are the people who help you sell. They help you. I didn't say you have to go out and do it. I didn't say you have to do more. I didn't have to say you've got to overwork yourself and you got to be a grindpreneur and an all-daypreneur and a no-sleepingpreneur. No, you can be a happypreneur, okay? But today you're an amazing CEO, okay? Okay, you're amazing. In a sports game, the cheerleaders keep the audience excited and engaged. Well, similarly, your sales team, you know what they do? They keep your customers excited about what you have to offer. I'm going to say it again. They keep your customers excited about what you have to offer. Now, if you are the number one salesperson on your team, and that is you as you're listening right now, that's okay. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. But when you look at that question, that the purpose of CEO Sales Huddle is to get you to $100,000 plus a month of consistent, predictable, reliable income, then I want you to have to think you've got to be the answer. You've got to sell more. You've got to sacrifice more. You've got to give up more. No, no, no. We believe in this one philosophy, and it's one of my 12 rules for life. We've got 12 rules, not getting to it here, but one of them is success is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. This is important. This is very important. You don't want to miss that. So we're going to build a sales team. Even if you hire a rep and they're working full time and they're getting paid 100% commission, they only get paid what they sell. You will, as a CEO, build a sales team to grow your revenue. Selling is the oxygen for every great business in history. So we're going to close out now as we come down the home stretch with one of the things that I love to close, which is our personal mantra. And the personal mantra is so near and dear to me, is so important to me because it's important for us to know that selling equals service. It's important that when you show up for the CEO Sales Huddle, you know that we have one mantra. We only got one, and that is selling equals service. We will serve. We will solve problems. We will make sales. And we will impact lives. And we all, here's the good news, we all can do that together. Selling equals service. We can sell more, solve more problems, serve more people, make more sales, and impact more lives. So as we close out, let's just repeat the mantra so that we're all on the same page. If you're out there right now, let me see if I can pull this up. Hope I can do this right. As we pull it up and put it in front of you, I just want you to repeat after me. And this is something you can take a picture of, okay? This is something you can post. Matter of fact, maybe it's something we'll send to everyone who's registered over at CEO Sales Huddle. We will send this mantra over to you as well as our whole, what's that thing called behind it? But here it is. Repeat after me. I believe selling equals service. I solve more problems. I serve more people. I sell more services. I impact more lives. Now, this is something that you can say every single day when you get up as a CEO, when you're ready to go into the office. I want you to believe this, and I believe with every fiber in my heart. I believe, this is very, very important. I believe, not someone else. I believe, not your team. I believe selling equals service. I solve more problems. I serve more people. I hear you. I sell more services. I impact more lives. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel good? That's our personal mantra. That's what we stand for as an amazing CEO. When someone says, what is an amazing CEO? It's someone that believes that selling equals service. I solve more problems. I serve more people. I sell more services as a result. And at the end of the day, what happens at the end of the day? I impact more lives. With that being said, I want to thank you for tuning into the CEO Sales Huddle. I want you to know that you're an amazing CEO. You offer amazing services. You're making an amazing impact on the world. And that for you, as you're watching, as you're listening. Today, in this moment, is your January 1st as a CEO. And I believe for you, your best is still yet to come. Your best yet to come. Thanks for joining. I'll see you tomorrow at the CEO Sales Huddle. Make sure you leave a comment below. Hit the share button. Please share it. If you got some value to say, Shay, this was great, pay this message forward. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side. God bless and keep doing God's work. We out of here. Peace, everybody. Peace. Gotta go.